This is my audience. My name is Gunnar, and I believe that it is our constitutional right to own guns. So I am for gun rights. My stance is guns don't kill people, people kill people. The purpose of the speech is to inform and persuade individuals to support less gun control. For the next several minutes, I will reveal to you several reasons why more gun control is not needed. First, I'll provide you with some background information and myths that surround gun control. Then I will define gun control and provide you with laws and regulations. I will describe how guns get a bad name and are blamed for when tragedy occurs. I'll provide you with some statistics that prove banning guns does not solve our crime issues. Finally, I'll provide you with reasons to oppose gun control. Gun control is not about safety, common sense, or saving American lives. It's about control. Glenn Beck, author of Control, goes on to say, one of the main pillars of gun control arguments is the claim that more gun laws make Americans safer. In reality, an exclusive 2004 report by the National Academy of Science was not able to identify a single gun control regulation that actually reduces violent crime, suicide, or accidents. In order to make an informed decision, you need to understand that gun control is understand what gun control is. Plain and simple, gun control is the government regulation of the production, sales, and possession of firearms. It is a matter of federal, state, and even local legislation. Which consists of child access prevention laws, concealed weapon laws, regulations of private sales to minors and second market sales, ban on assault rifles, and handgun laws. The Second Amendment reads, a well-regulated military being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. In contrast to other portions of the Constitution, this amendment contains no qualifiers, no buts or excepts. It is a straightforward statement affirming the people's right to possess firearms. Advocates hope tighter guidelines will eliminate tragic events like school shootings and mass murders. However, statistics show that a direct link between less gun control and lower crime rates. However, anti-gun campaigners in the U.S. argue that lives would be saved and crime rates would lower if guns were less widely available, and point to the fact that the U.S. has the highest death rate by guns than any other industrialized nation by a large margin. Gun control opponents deny the federal policies to keep firearms out of the hands of high-risk persons. Rather, they argue control often creates burdens for law-abiding citizens and infringe upon constitutional rights provided by the Second Amendment. Some argue further that the widespan gun owners is one of the best deterrents of crime, as well as to potential tyranny, whether by gangs or by government. They may also criticize the notion of enhancing federal as opposed to state police owners. History connects tragic events to stricter gun laws. Guns in America, Judith S. Bergenham states, in the wake of assassination of Martin Luther King and Robert F. Kennedy, the United States Congress passed the Gun Control Act of 1968. For more than 30 years, the legislation defended federal gun policy. It banned most interstate sales of firearms, licensed most dealers, and banned felons, minors, and the mentally ill from purchasing and owning guns. In the commentary on February 1st, 2013, titled "The Truth About Mass Shootings and Gun Control," Benjamin addressed the emotional need for awareness when bad things happen. He writes, "We often jump to conclusion that banning guns will solve the problems." Benjamin states, "When tragedy strikes on a national scale, our initial reactions have a commonality to them. The recoil is shock. We recoil in shock and are overcome with sorrow. But then, as anger and frustration set in, we begin to divide, to blame the things we have always blamed for evils around us. We insist something must be done, steps must be taken, laws must be passed." So let me share with you some statistics according to Gary Click, targeting guns, firearms, and their control. 2 of every 3 defensive uses of firearms are carried out with handguns. Private citizens benefit from handguns for the same reason the police do. Handguns are easy to carry and effective defensive tools. John Lott writes in More Guns, Less Crimes, states that adopt non-discriminatory concealed handguns saw murders decrease by at least 8%, rapes by 5%, aggravated assault by 7%, and robberies by 3%. The murder rates of women permit holders fell by as much as 5%. Self-defense is a fundamental right for the U.S. Fundamental right. The U.S. Constitution. Fundamental right. The U.S. Constitution. The constitutions of 44 states, common law, and laws of all states recognize the right to use firearms in self-defense. RTC, right to carry laws, respect the right to self-defense by allowing individuals to carry firearms for protection. Right to carry states have lower violent crime rates. In 2011, RTC states had lower violent crime rates on average compared to the rest of the country. Total violent crime by 24%, murder by 28%, robbery by 50%, and aggravated assault by 11%. LearnAboutGuns.com author says, "Don't be naive. Criminal violence would not stop if it was against the law to own guns. Just the opposite is highly more likely. First of all, criminals don't obey laws to begin with, so they will find a way to get them. Even if there are stricter laws passed, making guns illegal just opens up a larger black market for others to profit from. Guns will be smuggled in just like drugs are today. Most guns are never used in a crime, and most gun owners are law-abiding citizens. We should not ban guns just because some people choose to misuse them. The majority of gun-related crime is committed by people who are either already prohibited from having guns by law, on the other hand, the law-abiding citizens whom we would want to have guns so that they can defend their homes, hunt, and enjoy the hobby of target practicing are the only people who would be deterred by gun control. Firearms allow the physically weaker member of society to defend themselves from physically stronger attackers. Taking away guns from the physically weaker members of society puts them at a disadvantage. The fact is that even with an excellent police department, and a home security system, it will take several minutes for the police to arrive to your aid. Several minutes is an eternity when it comes to having a criminal in your home, and more than enough time for horrible things to happen. With a firearm, I would likely be able to stop a home invader before they could commit crimes against my family. In conclusion, the Second Amendment of the Constitution protects the right of an individual to keep and bear firearms. It's unfortunate when tragedy happens, but regulating firearms will not eliminate the true issue of those crimes. In fact, statistics shows more guns equal less crime. So to review, gun control is the popular name for laws that regulate, limit, prohibit the purchase and possession of firearms. Gun control laws are usually proposed on the ground that they will stop the criminal misuse of firearms. Gun control laws are usually proposed. Oh well, shit! I just read that. Are usually proposed on the grounds they will stop criminal misuse of firearms, but they are almost never actually targeted at criminals. Supporters of gun controls most commonly call the laws that restrict law-abiding citizens the only ones who will obey them. Laws prohibiting the possession of a firearm are unlikely to stop a person willing to commit robbery, assault, or murder. On the other hand, honest citizens who respect the law will submit to the gun control laws even if the laws do not make them safer. Now that I have given you the facts, I ask you to reevaluate your position on gun control. I would encourage my fellow law-abiding citizens who do not yet own a gun to do the following. Go shoot a gun for the first time, choose the proper gun for self-defense, purchase that gun, store them in a responsible manner, and become proficient and safety when using that gun. Doing so may save your life and can also benefit society as a whole.